Yesterday, I found myself slipping into the oldest, the original, perhaps the very first simply terrible, bad practice habit that we learn when we play the piano. This is why today we'll jump into the world of piano practice and discover the mistakes that are best avoided. At best, they'll hinder your progress, and at very worst, they'll lead to frustration and potentially even injury. And on the terrifying I word, first up we have neglecting warm-up exercises. This is easily done, but there's an even easier solution. Warm up your hands with some scales and arpeggios before you jump into playing some faster pieces. Not only is this going to prepare your hands to play, but it's also going to familiarize you with scales, understanding keys, and developing your technical fluency. You may have heard that scales are quite important. The solution is to write out a practice routine and make this your first step. If you're not sure where to start with writing a practice routine, you can always use mine as a guide, and I'll show you where to find it later in the video. I'm Dominic, thank you for tuning in today, and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to move through these next few points a little quicker as we have dedicated videos for them. But I want to do something a little different today. If there's a point that particularly resonates with you, or if there's one that I've left out from today's list, then please let me know in the comment section below, and we'll see if we can find a common habit. Number 2 is finger independence. Now, we're going to keep this brief as I've talked about this quite a lot, but if you're playing regularly, then finger independence should be top of the priority list for avoiding tension and building technique. That's all. Number 3 is overlooking hand position and posture. First, you need to learn the correct hand position and posture, and then build in awareness of how you're using your hand and how you're sitting every day. To do this, I just include a reminder on my practice routine when I do my warm-up exercises, so that every single day I have that reminder just to make sure, correct my posture, and make sure that my hands are in the right position. Number 4 is practicing too fast. This is a bit like building a house on sand without first building a foundation. Slow practice is what cements your solid foundation and will support greater speeds later on. This brings me straight on to number 5, which is repeating mistakes. If you play something wrong even once, your brain is going to remember it. Start treating mistakes seriously and correct them consciously. Say you're driving a car out of a car park and you don't know how it happens, but you scrape the car next to you. You've just made a pretty big mistake. I'd be willing to bet that you're going to drive home in the most careful manner that you've ever driven in. Treat your mistakes at the piano with exactly the same level of seriousness. Playing something wrong 3 times just to get it right on the 4th attempt is a bad ratio of wrong to right. Aim for 1 to 10 instead. That is, if you play it wrong once, correct it, play it right 10 times. Take mistakes seriously. Maybe I'm just too serious about this. Number 6 is distractions. Make this your time to switch off from the world and switch your phone off too. If you need to use the Metronome app on your phone, then just put your phone on airplane mode so that you don't get any notifications. Number 7 is the brilliantly terrible habit that I found myself falling into yesterday, and it is simply to repeat the same section over and over, the one that you like the most or that you're the best at. Be sure to move on and keep learning new material. Number 8 is to avoid practicing for too long or without any breaks. If you're efficient and organized by following a 60-minute practice routine, then your practice is going to be far more productive than doing 2 hours of mindless practice. Have time for practice and have time for playing through for fun. Practice is also fun. The next couple are about the tools that we can use in our practice. Number 9 is not using a metronome. The metronome is simply a fantastic tool for helping you to develop a strong sense of timing. But not only this, it will also allow you to goal set. So if you're playing a particularly fast piece, then what you can do is keep track of the speeds that you're currently playing at in different sections even, and then what your goal speeds for the piece are. Number 10 is to avoid playing the same piano. Don't be thrown as soon as you jump onto an unfamiliar piano, and instead become adaptable by practicing on many different pianos. Try searching out libraries, practice rooms, or churches which will have different pianos that you might be able to play on. Try practicing on a variety of pianos, and any piano will do for this purpose. Number 11 is negativity and frustration. Improve little by little every day and get used to the practice of piano practice. Trying to achieve too much in too little time is just going to lead to frustration. So spend each day trying to find and being aware of the elements that you need to improve in your playing and include these into your practice routine. Number 12 is motivation and direction. Do not rely on motivation and instead follow your routine at the same time every day. Knowing what to do is part of the battle. When the path is clearly defined, it's much easier to follow. Let me know in the comments which of these points resonates with you the most, or if there's one that I left out from the list. Give this video a like to help extend its reach, and the routine is available from the link in the description below.